Hello, beautiful earth angels. Happy Wednesday, happy summer. This is Jill Kempner and I'm known as the Angelic Pain Relief Expert. I'm just looking at the microphone. Okay, good. And I'm on a mission to heal the pain of the world one soul at a time. And to help those highly sensitive, highly intuitive souls transform your pain into peace and become calm, clear, and confident with angel love and relaxation. And it is an honor to share my medicine with you in this way. And I want to talk about why we can be afraid to trust our intuition. So first of all, our intuition is our direct line to the divine, and it is intimately connected with our energy body. It's how our angels, our soul, the divine, is communicating with us. And so we have 5 channels to this divine communication. Claircognizance at the crown, which is clear thought, clairvoyance at the third eye, which tends to be what people consider the most popular or well-known channel. Clairvoyance at the third eye for clear vision, clairaudience for clear hearing at the ears and ear chakras. There's clear fragrance at the throat, which I think is the most unknown, still being discovered channel, which is what I'm going to be teaching about on Saturday. And then clear sentience in the belly, clear feeling, clear feeling, which are those gut feelings in the body. And then clear fragrance is clear scent or clear smell, receiving messages from the divine through our sacred sense of smell and taste. And so why is this so here's what came to me today. So I was taking a walk and before I was going live, and I was praying, I was talking to my soul and my angels about, what am I talking, what story am I sharing, what's the story of clear fragrance to, help people, support people, add value. And I was like, is it something that just most recently happened, or is it like a past story that I'm, bringing to the present moment? And it was like really in like a very cool moment where I was like, I don't know, my mind was kind of blank and I was like, I'm not getting anything. Why is nothing coming to me, angels, And then I was walking on the trail near my home and I just paused and took a breath in. And, I'm walking along the trail, which has a lot of wild flowers and like tall grass. And I just had a clear fragrance moment, which was just to come into the now. So the waft of the flowers brought me into the now. And it was interesting because it had just rained and it smelled and I was taking these like really deep breaths in because I'm like, oh my gosh, it smells so good after it rained. So it was like the smell of the ground and the flowers after the rain. It was like this, it was just like an intoxicatingly beautiful smell. And I was like, wow, I guess this is like a clear fragrant moment, right? So I was like, okay, that's fine, in the moment. And then I just kind of was going like deeper and I'm like, whoa, but what? Like, okay, so the clear fragrance brought me into the now and the now is beautiful. Like, what do you want me to teach them, And it was like that. What came through was like, why are we afraid, right? Why are we afraid of the now? That's what came to me. And I was like, oh my gosh, yeah. And so as sensitive souls, as earth angels, as empaths, as cycle breakers, there was many times where the present moment didn't always feel safe, that we were scanning for danger. We were, anticipating what might go wrong. We were, replaying what already happened. right? We learned to live everywhere else except the now. And I was like, oh, that's the teaching. Then I was walking on the trail, and, at some points along the trail, there's this high grass and flowers and all that. There's also trees, and I'm very conscious of that because of the red-winged blackbirds. But I was sort of just kind of I was in my head for a minute, right? Because I was like, okay, that's something. Yeah, let me stay with that, right? So I'm in my head. I'm in my head a little bit. And a red-winged blackbird comes and dives at my head. And I was like, where's there even a tree? And I'm like, oh my God, there's a tree right there. So the tree was right there. They're very protective of their nests. And it was but it was far enough away that I was like, wait, was that a red-winged blackbird? So I turn around, and this is literally just happened to me. Made eye contact with the bird, and he came barreling at me. So of course I ran, right? I tucked my head down and ran, and he left me alone after that. But I was like, oh my gosh. Talk about being in the present moment. And sometimes why we're afraid of being in the present moment, right? It's we're in this hyper vigilant. If we've experienced trauma, if we've lived in unsafe, dangerous, traumatic, chaotic times, moments where it's felt like we need to escape this moment. We need to leave this moment, right? We trained ourselves to escape the present moment, leave the present moment. And so the energy, the medicine of the clairfragrance channel is about bringing you into the now. So I just thought the whole way this whole moment unfolded was very interesting and enlightening. And so and then of course when I was walking back, and then it started raining. So I was like, okay, I'm not gonna walk as far as I planned. I had my raincoat, so I just, I put my hood up. But when I walked past those trees again, I put my hood down and was just very mindful and very slow and respectful of the where I was on the trail, right? Because I definitely learned my lesson from that one. And so that's what was coming through today, right? That if we have an unalchemized issue, story, wound, or trauma living in our either energy body or physical body, there can be a fear of trusting the now, the present moment. But here's the call to us brave, courageous, vulnerable souls, is that this is where the healing happens. My teacher says, healing happens today, not tomorrow. Right? And Eckhart Tolle and so many masters talk about the power of now, being present. And so it's not so much that we're struggling to hear our intuition, right? We're struggling with staying present long enough in the now to receive it. And that's why we need the help of our angels. We need the help of the divine to give us the courage to stay present, to stay aligned, to stay in the now when the heaviness arises, when the fear arises, when the shame arises, that we can still stay present in the now, because this is where your angels are, right here, right now, sending you love. And so I'm just listening because I felt like they were saying something else. So the clairfragrance channel and is this call, this signal to come back into the present moment. And often clairfragrance can show up as like smelling a scent that may not be physically present, right? That's one of the ways that the angels sort of like wake us up, right? Because the olfactory senses, like, you know, the nose knows, is such a powerful reminder and anchors what the angels are saying. Thank you so much, right? Anchor into this present moment. Now, why does all this matter? Because our intuition, right? The claircognizance, the clairvoyance, the clairaudience, the clairfragrance, the clairsentience is how we are receiving the messages, the wisdom, the healing that is available for us. So the now matters. And more than ever, right? The sacred healing moment of now, the magical now. And so when we hone this clairfragrance scent, when we attune it to our guardian angel's love, when we attune it to Archangel Jophiel, the angel of patience, the angel of beauty, the angel of space clearing, right? She's the one who says, you are a divine being. You are beautiful. You are loved. You are worthy, right? She's the angel who reminds us of our divine worth, because the shadow of clairfragrance is shame, unworthiness, impatience, right? It's like this impatience to just be at the end, right? I just want to get, like, I want the result. I want the goal. I want the end, right? Give it to me now. Rather than her medicine is like, savor the moment, slow down, right? She's the angel who says, slow down, smell the roses, savor the moment, because this is when, now is when the download is going to come through. This is when the healing is going to happen. This is when the magic is going to happen. This is when the awareness will happen. Right? So what we want to do is catch ourselves when we are in our head, right? Replaying that past experience over and over and over again. And that might be from a PTSD flashback or moment, right? When we are like tense and tight and scanning for, you know, if we're in our hypervigilance, if we're scanning for danger, if we're scanning for, you know, anticipating something going wrong, right? What you can do is remember the mantra, slow, simple, soft. Slow down, right? Come into your body, come into your heart, come onto the earth through your breath. Simplify the story, the spiral, the ruminating, right? And let yourself release the unnecessary, right? Simplify the story. Start to slow down. Let me take one step at a time. And then what can feel scary / counterintuitive / not always accessible, but really important, is soften. Soften the armor, soften the defenses, soften the tension, so that you can receive the guidance, the message, the wisdom. Here's what they're saying right now. The guidance that's coming through all of your clairs, the messages, the wisdom, the healing, is always going to be relieving. It's always going to create relief. It's going to create space. It's going to create more love. So angel messages are always loving, peaceful, insightful, expansive, uplifting. They're never going to scare you. They're never going to trigger you, right? They're going to bring you peace and relief. So there's nothing to brace against because when we slow down and come into the moment, only love is real. Peace comes, Archangel Chamuel is coming through. Archangel Chamuel, peace comes from remembering that only love is real. And so thank you for that. And so I was trying to decide if I'm going to take a sip of water because there was something that happened earlier that was so beautiful and powerful. I'm wondering if I'm meant to share it right now, so I'm just listening. Okay, so I'm pausing for a minute and just trusting. So Saturday, I have a beautiful class in a series of classes called Angels and Intuition. We rescheduled this class to Saturday, June 27th, and it's the Clairfragrance channel. Right? So you're going to learn about clairfragrance. I'm going to share some personal stories of this channel and how it has actually enlivened my other channels. It's actually, clairfragrance has been such a gift because it has taught me that spirit is speaking to us, communicating with us in so many different ways. And it's going to use all of our senses and psychic senses to get our attention. And so, sharing some specific stories and personal stories with, the wisdom-filled teaching about clairfragrance and the shadow of clairfragrance, why we hold ourselves back from receiving messages through that channel and trusting it. Also knowing that clairfragrance, because it's bringing you into the now, when we get a clairfragrance scent, that's a sign, a signal to pay attention to all the other clairs because you're about to get a download, a message, a healing. So we're going to be talking about that. And of course, the shadow of clairfragrance, because when we know what's holding us back from receiving those messages, Jophiel and your guardian angels can clear it. Then you're going to receive a beautiful clairfragrance activation of your throat chakra temple with Jophiel and her golden magenta light and her sacred angel Reiki symbols, right? So it's going to be so nourishing, so empowering, so uplifting. And then in this 2-hour workshop, it's Saturday, June 27th from 3 to 5 p.m. You're also going to share a message with a partner. And we're going to hone in on this channel, right? Because my goal is that two things, that you leave feeling calm, clear, and confident in your ability to receive messages and downloads and healing from your angels, but not just that, to heal the pain, right? So the second thing is that you have a gem. That there's you're gonna come with whatever needs healing, right? Whatever wound, whatever pattern, whatever part, whatever cycle you're here to break, end, or dissolve, you're gonna bring that to the light. And the angels are gonna give you a message through that channel and through multiple channels. So clairfragrance is gonna awaken and expand all the other channels. So that's what's so cool. Okay, so let me see what else the angels are saying. I want to pull a card for you to see what your guardian angels are saying about opening up your clairfragrance channel to the next level. And I thought there was something else, but let me do this. Put my microphone down for a second. Okay, so how is it you are trusting, right? I fully trust my clairfragrance. You're trusting and receiving the clairfragrant messages to heal that pain, that pattern once and for all. Oh my gosh, I felt like a bunch of cards were coming out. Cancel, clear, cancel, release. One of my favorites, right? We're going to cancel, clear, release, ruminating. Cancel, clear, release, shame. Cancel, clear, release, I'm not intuitive. Or cancel, clear, release that fear of being in the now, right? We're going to cancel, clear, cancel, and release the negativity, the contraction, the resistance to the now. I love that. What a great message, right? And so one of the things about this message that's so cool. Oh my God, I forgot to pick up my microphone. One of the things that's so great about this message is that you can use this clear, cancel, release anytime you have a negative thought. If you have a negative thought and you catch that negative thought, cancel, clear, release, right? Clear, cancel, release, cancel, clear, release, however you say it. I also learned cancel, clear, delete. So either, whatever way, right? I think in an interview that I did with Joanne Macco with the Beacons of Balance, she said we have 17 seconds to cancel, clear, delete a negative thought. And I was like, oh, I love that. Never heard the 17 seconds before. When I listened back to the interview this past week, I was like, oh, I love that, right? So, this, the rest of this week, right, as we start the summer season, you're going to cancel, clear, release a message from your angels to trust those clear, fragrant messages, right? To trust your intuition to the next level, to heal that pain, to heal that wound, right? You're going to remember to cancel, clear, release any negative thought, right? Any lower thought, any heavy thought, right? You have the power to shift your frequency. You are the keeper of your mind and body by choosing those high vibrational thoughts. And the more high vibrational thoughts we have, right? Not by spiritually bypassing the pain. We have to do the inner work, right? We have to do the slow, simple, soft method, the relax, release, receive process with the pain. So we're not suppressing it. We're not numbing it. We're not spiritually bypassing it. But we can cancel, clear, release those non-serving thoughts and then open up to those higher vibrational thoughts, which are going to expand our intuitive channels, amplify our intuitive channels. So I love everything that came through today. I would love for you and your angels to join us for the Clear Fragrance class. We have several openings. And it's going to be a lighthearted, joyful, fun experience. And you know, it was interesting because there was a student last night at Healing Angels, hi Debbie, who was like, you know, I'm taking a lot of other classes right now. I don't want to like overwhelm myself. And I'm like, no, absolutely. Trust yourself, you know, trust your pace, trust your pace, right? What your soul is saying. But then later, and it was like, that was a great conversation and we talked about several other things. But then when I was reflecting on it, I was like, this series of angels and intuition is so, I mean, it's important to have integration time, right? In between whatever classes or courses or trainings you're taking. So absolutely honor your pace. But this is like, there's something about the relax, release, receive process, the slow, simple, soft process, that there's so much spaciousness, there's so much light, there's so much gentleness and joy that there's almost a natural integration that happens in the class, in the workshop itself. And then you get to go play with that channel, right? So yeah, I heard that too. And I was like, oh, thank you, angels. Like, it's all perfect and divine. So, I'm so grateful for you. I'm sending you so much love and angel blessings. And if you would like to connect with me one-on-one, I have a free consult. It's called the Angelic Pain Relief Consult. It's a 1-hour conversation over Zoom. This is a heartfelt and compassionate space where I'm listening to you and your angels. And just that alone is going to, just being witnessed with what you've been working on, what you've been struggling with, what you've been holding, can be so powerful. Then I'm going to share what your angels are saying about your pain, which will create a moment of relief. And then together, we're going to create your roadmap to relief. I would be honored to have that conversation with you. All that information is on my website, jillkempnerhealing.com, right at the top of the page. But I'll also put the link for the consult in the comments of the video as well. So we're calling on the angels of cancel, clear, release, the negativity, the shame, the fear that blocks our intuition from the fear of being in the now, right? The fear of being in the sacred healing moment of now, the power of now, the presence of now. We're cancel, clearing, releasing that for the rest of the week and weekend. And anytime you think of it, And yeah, I'll send this video in my newsletter. I'm so grateful for all of you. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your week and start to the summer. Okay, mwah, lots of love. Bye, everyone.